Hey guys, Jin Lux here, back with a, well, I was gonna say black with a blind playthrough, no. So, back with a, this is gonna be a different video. Oh god, he's gonna, Jack's here, so I wanted to do a sort of a rant, well, you know, talk style video. This is gonna be about GOG, how to improve it from an outsider perspective. So, basically, first we gotta sort of establish what I mean. GOG does not look like it's a really healthy company, but let's dial it back a little bit first, because my memory is different. Maybe I'm living in an alternate timeline or something, but I could have sworn. So according to my research, it started in like 2008 as a part of CD Projekt, like an offshoot for them to basically do a digital distribution platform of The Witcher. But I could have sworn I went back as far as 2000 because I remember it going almost bankrupt. I remember them having like a going out of business sale, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, we got to purchase our games now," and that was what kept them afloat. So maybe I'm misremembering, but I know they did something around 2010 when they shut down the site itself, but that was like a fake out to drum up business. So who knows? I know that was the actual GOG, but I could have sworn it was Good Old Games, and then it got rebranded. I could have sworn they got purchased by CD Projekt, and that's when they became GOG, not Good Old Games. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm mixing a bunch of companies together in my head. But yeah, so general opinion. Oh, Jack's laying down. General opinion is that they're not doing super hot. They had a bad launch for Cyberpunk 2077. There was a news story a while back about them reorganizing, moving people from GOG Galaxy to other things. Their competitors are both Steam and Epic. And yet, when you think about digital distribution, you don't really think about GOG. You're like, oh, do I want to go with Steam or do I want to go with Epic? So they're not really well known, kind of, either. And then it's funny because I did like a quick search. I was like, is GOG going bankrupt? And there was a post in their forum asking that as well. And someone, I think from the company, was like, no, they're not going bankrupt. Look at this infographic. And it was like something that they released to, not to show investors, because that would be like the investor prospectus, right? But this is like a infographic to show the public that they're doing well. And that had a lot of marketing doublespeak and stuff on it, and I think it's mostly BS. It doesn't make me feel better about the company. It makes me worry still, because they have to falsify their own information. So that's kind of where they're at. That's kind of my image. What you could basically take away from that is that retro games, of course, aren't super profitable. You know, it's like it's sort of solved with them selling new games, right? That's why they sell newer games. And I would imagine occasionally you get like streamers that talk about older games. Then Seth Chinch, he released a video today about what was it? Age of Wonders. And he had a little, whenever he does that for about a week, he has a discount thing. So I actually went on there and purchased Age of Wonders through that little thing. It's like the first 3 games, and it's like, hey, that's great. That's a lot of revenue, I'm sure, for them, but it's temporary. You know, it's a little burst. It's like flash sales. It's only going to do so much. Presumably, GOG also has less income sources than Steam. I don't know about Epic, but Steam has like the cards, the trading cards, and all that stuff. So I don't know. And Gabe Newell has mentioned that piracy was a service problem. That goes extra for GOG as well, because why would I not just use abandonware? You know, if I could, all I have to do is learn how to use DOSBox myself, and then I don't need GOG for anything, really. So additionally, all this stuff, especially the launch of Cyberpunk and the reorganizing of the GOG Galaxy thing, they have bad management. So basically, the company, just to summarize so far, the company does not really look financially stable. They've had some bad things, and they probably have bad people running things. Just as, you know, I don't know why my notes here kind of flickered there for a second. That was odd. So what now? And this is where we get into the sort of the meat of the video, right? So from an outsider's perspective, what do they do as far as stopping the bleeding and starting to actually thrive, right? So, and there's several, but let's face it, it's probably not going to be very easy, because you're talking like the whole thing is infested. Management all the way up the chain has problems, right? So the first thing is stop diversity hires. Okay, that's the main thing. And whether this is true or not, you could look at the pictures. You see all the Twitter layoff stuff, right? You had before Elon, after Elon. Before Elon, it's a bunch of like rainbow-haired people. After Elon, it's a bunch of dudes. That's Twitter. Cyberpunk, CD Projekt, you look at the staff photos, and it's a bunch of rainbow-haired women. And it's like, well, maybe that's just the marketing department. Maybe that's just the... It sounds terrible. Maybe it's the people that aren't doing anything, right? When they take photos at my hospital, I basically had to give up an opportunity to go to the bathroom or to eat because they wanted me to take a photo. And it's like the people that aren't working are the ones that are able to do the photo. And maybe that's all the rainbow-haired people. But that means those are the people that are taken away from the company if they're not really working that hard, you know? By definition, I'm not saying diversity hires are bad people or bad hires, but by definition, they are not the people that are most qualified for the job. Because if you had to hire them to fill a quota, then there was some other better candidate that didn't get the position because you had to fill some quota somewhere else. And ultimately, let's be fair, professionals are actually cheaper. The people that you fill quotas with that are not as good at their Jesus Christ, that are not as good at their jobs as other people, more expensive people. Kind of counterintuitive, but there's a saying that if you think hiring a professional is expensive, wait till you hire an amateur. It's because amateurs screw things up, or you often have to go back and hire a better person, have to hire an amateur to get the work done. So, yeah. So that's one point, stop diversity hires. Number two, fix the management and fix the HR. Those kind of go together. Good luck, because that's the root of your company. If the cancer has spread that far, then your company's probably done. It's going to take severe overhauls. Look at Disney. Disney's hemorrhaging money. Okay? Are they going to be able to fix it? Probably not. There's a reason cancer generally kills people. Right? Your body actually has things that fight cancer, but when it takes over your whole body, when it's metastasized, it kills you. And that's what happens. It kills companies. Stuff like this, companies that don't focus on business, that focus on, diversity or quotas or whatever, they die. They die. So you need to fix this stuff. I don't know how. That's not up to me. If it was up to me, it wouldn't have gotten bad in the first place. But yeah. And the reason I say HR in there is because HR recruits like-minded individuals. So they're diverse. They get their diverse politics in there. And then they only hire people that have the same political leanings as them. I've made jokes before that, oh, they looked at someone's Facebook page and saw an American flag and they're like, that's not a person we're going to hire because this person actually likes America. Or you look at G4, right? There's another viral clip of a host or a host candidate, a female host that they interviewed, and they're like, why should we cancel Batman? And she was like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, we want to cancel him because he's white and rich, and we hate that. And she was like, yeah, I'm not, this is probably not gonna be good. They're done. They just don't know it yet. They're dying. They haven't died yet. That Jack ran off, but he'll probably be back here in a second. Yeah, HR is screwed. Your management is screwed. And I've said it before. I think I've said it before. We had a nurse that worked for us. We have, contractors and temp workers that fill holes in our company, in our hospital, that enable us to do work that we otherwise wouldn't be able to do. And so we got a contract nurse, and she was like, you know what, I'll take the position full time. It's less pay, but I'll take it. And so she applied, and HR turned her down. We don't know why. But if she didn't make a fuss, she would have just been like, oh, okay, whatever. The point is, though, how many people has HR turned down that nobody knows about because HR is just doing what they're doing, By the way, if it looks like my eyes are looking in different directions, it's for whatever reason the camera is like a little bit off. I'm pretty sure I don't have a lazy eye. You never know, but it's because I'm looking here, but the camera's up here, and so it looks like my eyes are doing this, whatever. But yeah, HR they're bad. They're bad. They won't hire people that you need or want. Like, they didn't hire her to do the job she was already doing. Why? We don't know. We don't know. But how many people have we lost because HR is doing their own thing and they have no oversight or accountability? And that's why management is also screwed, because there should be some sort of oversight. Oh, hey, in our meeting, everyone's department head is meeting together. And, oh yeah, we had some applications, we turned them down. And so this other department head for our department would be like, wait, what? Right? Because management should know. They should know what their HR department's doing, and they should tell that to other people. Oh yeah, we had this many applicants, we didn't hire this many people. We rejected this many applicants, or we hired this many applicants. So also, I'd say, fix your brand reputation. I mentioned the photo before, the Cyberpunk development photo. That came out a lot. Like, people were hitting on that really hard when Cyberpunk released, because they're like, I could just shoot my gun in-game, in-world, and all the cars on the street will stop and everyone will get out and crouch in exactly the same way. You have 50 cars doing exactly the same thing. The coding is crap. All the coding, all these different aspects of coding are crap. Let's look at the credits. Let's see who coded. Oh, it's a woman? Oh, it's this person? Oh, she's got rainbow hair. All these problems that you could trace back to these diversity hires have rainbow hair, have other potential issues. They're activists. They're not professionals. They're not coders. That's a problem. And it makes your company look bad when people are like, oh, yeah, So the brand. Your brand has problems. Your reputation has problems. People are like, oh, yeah, I would even say, as far as the brand, it should be minimalist. If you're looking at, like, branding, whatever, be minimalist like the old games are. Your primary thing is good old games. Although it's not anymore, right? It's GOG. It's not good old games anymore. But, if your thing is retro games, then your brand should be maybe retro, maybe minimalist or whatever. And it was. It was at one time. GOG Galaxy 1.0 was very utilitarian. It had a... If you look at the forums, that's kind of how they looked. The GOG forums, they're old, they're outdated, but that's how Galaxy looked, the 1.0. Now it looks like a mobile app, which, I mean, let's face it, they're trying to imitate Steam. Galaxy has stopped working. Why? I don't know, it just stopped working all of a sudden. I guess we'll close the program. Okay, there you go. Right as I'm recording this thing, another... No, hang on, Galaxy did not crash, it was the messenger aspect of it, which is fine, I don't use that anyway, but yeah, I mean, Galaxy wants to be Steam. You shouldn't want to be Steam, you should want to be different. You should want to have your own image. Being Steam, but shittier, is not a good look. It's not a good look. And the other thing is, like, it's not going to happen with all of your rainbow hairs, but cancel culture is thriving. People are like, oh, we're winning, people are waking up. No, probably not. But cancel culture is thriving elsewhere, even in Steam. You know, you have the, they released that thing a while back, Steam did, where they're like, oh, we're not gonna ban games except for stuff that's illegal. But then you actually read the fine print, they're like, no, we're actually totally gonna ban games, it's just the ones we don't like. Right? I must have been the only person that actually read the fine print, and not actually read the statement. But you have to be different. You have to set yourselves apart, because nobody knows nobody knows GOG, and if they're just like, oh, GOG's Steam but shittier, that's a bad image. That's a bad image. So, you know, you could be different by... You already sort of are, right? You're branding yourselves as DRM free. Oh, saw the kitty out of the corner. Come on up, Jack. Come on. But Steam is forcing minimum Windows versions, right? Especially as a retro games publisher, you should not be doing that. I hope you're not. I don't know if GOG is going to do that, but don't. Right? So be different than that. Don't have, you know, advertise yourselves as the DRM free platform. That's fine. I would say embrace political neutrality, okay? It's not going to happen with all the activists on your company, in your company ranks, and like I said, the cancer has probably spread throughout your entire company. It might be too late. But I would say embrace political neutrality, and actually do it with what I call a gangster lean. It's kind of a terrible little thing, but whatever. Have a gangster lean, because in this political climate, with all the left activism, because here's the thing, both political sides hate video games. The left wants to censor and or ban, and so does the right. The right also wants to censor and ban video games. So you need to be neutral, and in fact, you probably need to advocate the opposite of whatever the current party is, right? That's why I say be neutral with a little bit of a lean. With all the left stuff, you want to be a little bit right. Eventually, the right will take over. I mean, maybe. That's a whole other video. Authoritarian regimes typically tend to be left-leaning, socialist. But, so if the right ever takes over, you need to lean a little bit left. You need to be a little bit counterculture. You're the little guy, or you should be. Right? So embrace the political neutrality with the gangster lean. Embrace the Coomers. Like, oh my god, this is a huge, huge thing, right? Steam bans Coomer games, okay? They don't like, and in fact, there seems to be a censoring over the internet of porn of any kind, right? If you search, like Google and Bing used to be different. You used to search for like a hentai game and you couldn't find it on Google. It was strange. I mean, you used to be able to find it, and then all of a sudden they started taking care of it, getting rid of it. I'm watching Jack, that's why I was a little bit distracted. But Bing used to be fine, and now Bing is starting to sweep it under the rug as well. You know, they're censoring the internet a little bit at a time and hoping you won't notice. There's a reason Jast USA, which releases a lot of hentai games, there's a reason they went exclusively to GOG. And that's something you could put. That's something you could do. You could be like, yeah, dude, we're the... If you want DRM free, Coomer free, free speech, this is our platform. And I said the free speech as well, but that is dangerous. That's getting cracked down on when banks and credit card companies are trying to enforce not free speech. There's something else going on. I'm not going to specifically say any one group is attempting to censor, except for maybe the elites. But I don't mean a specific race or anything. But there's, you know, when they started cracking down on free speech, I was like, oh, dude, we should go to the porn sites for free speech. And the porn sites were like, don't bring that shit to us. That's more dangerous. You know, things are upside down when free speech is more dangerous than porn. Although, I mean, it always has been, but if you're able to, that would be potentially a huge selling point for people that care. Most people don't. Most people don't care about free speech. One of my best friends is like, take my free speech away. I don't use it. And I'm just like, you're a dumbass. He's a Republican too. It's like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot being a Republican. Like, do you vote? Do you like to vote? You say you're a Republican. Why the hell do you think free speech is okay to be? Like, who do you think's gonna go under the gun? Come the F on. Anyway. But yeah, that would be a great marketing thing for people that care. There's a reason I'm putting all of my stuff towards GOG and not towards Steam. At least these days I'm checking. If it's on GOG, I purchase it on GOG. Like I said, especially with Steam probably going to upgrade here in the next year, and anyone that doesn't have Windows 10 or 11 is going to get the boot. Just what I expect. It's important to be liked. It's important to be liked as the little guy. GOG is definitely the little guy, but they don't come across as the little guy. Somehow, it's reversed. Somehow, GOG comes across as corporate, the corporate storefront. And Steam is Gaben, right? Oh, holy Gaben, hallowed be his name. You know, dropping the Steam summer sales and the winter sales and all the sales, dropping those sales. Oh, but stay away from GOG because they're the corporate store. It's like, how is it reversed like that? So fix that reputation. That falls back under reputation. I don't know how they screwed this up, but they did. Maybe it's all the activists. We're sort of, all this stuff is kind of mixed together, right? So it's not, I mean, these are the recommendations, like stop diversity hires, fix your management, fix your HR, fix your brand and your brand reputation. You know, promote a counterculture. You know, if you're the little guy, promote the Coomer culture, promote DRM free, maybe promote free speech if it's not dangerous. You know, GOG is supposedly based in Poland. I don't know their laws. They fall under the EU, I think, which actually does have hate speech laws. So maybe figure out where the pirate party is puts their servers, and or look at Kiwi Farms even. Because you're going to come under attack, and you should be expecting that, you know? Hang on, let me take a drink real fast. But yeah, so we got more suggestions. As far as Galaxy goes, on the forums, I like Galaxy. for me, it's nice having like an install manager and having all these things get updated as I use them. But you have to make sure you keep the website downloads, because a lot of the power users on the forums, they don't like Galaxy. They want to be able to manually download the stuff and install it themselves. And as far as like Fallout 3, there may be something, there may be a conflict with Galaxy and Fallout 3. I don't think so, but that was one of the things that I saw. It just doesn't work. Anyway, Fallout 3, I mean. But keep the website downloads for the power users. It's super important. And then the problem is Galaxy is designed for convenience users, but it sucks. But it's designed poorly. Probably because of diversity hires. Like, it looks like a mobile app, but why the mobile look? Is it an app? I don't think I can use it on my phone. And I'm pretty sure I can't play games on my phone. So why the look? Again, it's the branding thing, right? If it's gonna be, if you're good old games, if you can make money off of retro games, which you can, I think, promote that. Maybe let me play retro games on my phone. That would be awesome. That would be freaking awesome. And speaking of which, it's backwards. Galaxy's backwards. It looks like a mobile app, but as far as I can tell, there's no mobile functionality. And the forums, which is the only thing that I want to look at on my phone, they're still designed for desktop. There is no mobile version of the forums. Why? Why have your desktop thing look shitty and work shitty and not be mobile, but the stuff that should be mobile is not? That makes no freaking sense. Like, why are the forums not mobile? Why are they terrible? They still suck. You know, as far as just fixing Galaxy overall, which is my recommendation, again, diversity hires, right? If you have diversity hires, they can't code for crap. You know, maybe get some actual coders. Fix the achievements. You know, fix the achievements, fix the timeline, fix the... I have like 50-something hours on older games, and the last little achievement thing was like, oh, 25 hours. That's been broken for years. How hard is it to get people to fix basic checks like that? If you have more than whatever hours, then display this icon or something. Like, how bad are your people, you know? Is it because they're diversity hires? Also, if you want, like, have Galaxy have options for the power users, right? I mean, fix the whole design of it. It's awful. It's somehow too simple and yet overly complicated at the same time. Like, it's a frickin' mess. You could change the order of the columns and stuff, which is fine, but it looks like shit. It's unintuitive. I felt the older version, 1.0, was far better. And speaking of which, the mandatory upgrade, all of a sudden it just upgraded to 2.0. That was rude. That really pissed me off. And it's a good way to drive people away. Mandatory upgrades that completely change stuff. Because I actually liked the old look. It was, like I said, it was functional. It was definitely a desktop thing. Actually kind of matched the forums with how utilitarian it was, but oh, we're about to run out of time on the Star Tropics music. But yeah, it worked, and everything worked with Galaxy, and then they updated it to some mobile-looking thing, and it didn't even have all the functions. I still don't know if it has all the functions. Just, again, just fix it. Just fix it. Another huge thing, if you're talking about driving people away, because at that point, I was almost like FGOG. F them, I'm just gonna stick with Steam. And speaking of things that drive people away, like, there's no reason to stay. Oh, there it is. It's weird that it just abruptly ends like that, but let's, there we go. There we go. Star Tropics dancing. Right, Jack? Right, Jack, baby? Oh my gosh, you're so cute. Yeah, I purchased, this game Wildermyth. And I purchased it on GOG first, even though it's on Steam and it's on Epic. But I wanted something to play with a buddy of mine, so we both bought it because I was like, let's do GOG. It's DRM free. They're not, you know, Steam. I'd like to be able to keep using my games even when Steam updates, so let's go on GOG. And since I primarily did multiplayer, multiplayer stuff I'm not sure works on GOG. I'm not sure how well it works. It didn't work on this game. And I was like, okay, well, is it the game itself or is it the platform, right? So we purchased it on Steam. First he bought it on Steam. He's like, let me buy it and you try the GOG version, because allegedly it's crossplay. This game supposedly is crossplay. Wildermyth, recommend, by the way. It's pretty awesome. It's supposed to be crossplay, at least in my experience it wasn't. Maybe that's fixed now, but who knows. So we both bought the Steam version, multiplayer worked. So I'm like, well, refund me. Refund me, GOG. I don't know why it doesn't work, but it doesn't. That's lost sales. Galaxy sucks. They can't even get basic achievements working. They can't get basic stuff working. Basic design they can't get right. They're completely ass backwards on... They want the desktop stuff to look like mobile stuff, and they want the mobile stuff to look like desktop stuff and have zero functionality in everything. What are they doing? Why is their management suck? It sucks the cork. It sucks it hard and bad. You know? There's a reason when companies fail and get bought out, there's a reason the purchasing company fires all the management. Because if they didn't suck, there's a reason the company sucks. And the managers are supposed to be the ones leading. And if they're not leading, if they're not doing a good job, they should get fired. You know? Okay, a couple more complaints and we'll be done. Multiplayer doesn't seem to work. I honestly haven't tried it with much more, but I've been sticking with Steam. I'm sorry. You need to make your shit work. If it doesn't work, I'm not coming to you. I'm really trying to like you guys. I'm really trying to make all my purchases through GOG, but you make me want to leave. And I'm expecting to get booted off Steam in the next year because of, you know, the upgrade. Right? I don't want Windows 10. I might have to, but maybe I'll go with Epic. Like, that's how bad it is. You know? Even though it's Chinese spyware, it's like, you choose between something that's gonna upgrade and kick you off. You choose between something that doesn't work, and you choose something that's Chinese spyware. Chinese spyware might work. You know? Anyway, so let's talk about the games. The good old games, the retro games, the reasons that you purchase stuff on GOG. Older games have mandatory fan patches installed into them a lot of the time. Lords of Magic, for example. I haven't purchased that game. I've wanted to, but I haven't because there's some fan patch that rebalances the game. And I don't want that. I still have my original CD. Maybe I should pull that out and figure out how to use DOSBox and then disregard GOG from this point forward. Why are the fan patches mandatory? Why just not some sort of unofficial patch? Just fix the bugs, and then let me play the game as original. You know? Or better yet, have options. Be like, this is the original with no bug fixes. This is the original with the fixes, the unofficial patch applied. And option number 3, this is our recommended patches. You know? You could even do something like Fallout 3. Get it working. Oh my god. Imagine if GOG had some sort of fix. Hey, purchase it on here. It works. If you purchase it on Steam, it won't. Imagine that. Imagine GOG being known for having games run on modern systems. They're good old games, after all. It's in the name. Should they not work on modern systems? If not, why am I coming to you? Another recommendation, hire autistic people and or pay for quality. Okay? Autistic people become obsessed with doing things the right way. You don't even need to have them come into the office because autistic people can't really work with other people very well. What? I mean, you know, it's 2022. We have the internet. You email them, you say, these are your tasks. I want these done. How long will it take to do them? Okay. I mean, I'm not a coder, but I've heard enough people talk about development that they have milestones. Here's the milestone. Meet it. That's it. If you don't meet it, you're fired. You know? Let me know if you need anything. Let's, you know, they have, Subnautica. Unknown Worlds. All of their people were remote. The entire company. Was it Trello? They had a development board. They could all check, hey, I'm working on this. Hey, this is the update for this. Boom. Why not? Is it because your managers suck? That wouldn't surprise me at all. Hire autistic people. They obsessively make problems. Dude, there's a reason you have fan patches for games that are 20 years old. You have fan translations. You have an entire group. You have people that are obsessed with certain games that will remaster them. You have all these fan projects. Get some of that energy. Jesus Christ. Instead, you get frickin' activists. I would imagine autistic people, I mean, you'd want to pay, don't screw them over, pay them well, but if you're worried about cost, excuse me, if you're worried about cost, they're probably willing to take a little bit less pay to ensure that a game is available. A game that they love, that they're obsessed with, they want to make sure it works and it's fixed and everyone can play it. And they'll probably take a cut in pay a little bit for that. But don't screw them over, pay for quality, because you get quality when you pay for quality. And especially if you pay, then you're like, are you doing the job? No, bye-bye. You know? And then you don't have to worry about it. Your freaking company imploding. Last point, second to last. Social media tie-ins. I always go on Steam and see like frickin' developers streaming. I did some like a 5-minute Google search. I didn't even realize GOG has a social media platform. I didn't even realize they do stream. I don't know in what capacity. I've seen like Christopher Odd plug sales and stuff like that, but I didn't realize they actually have really any social media presence at all. How do I not know this? I mean, I don't pay attention a whole lot, but I have their homepage, the GOG website, as my homepage when I open my browser. And I know very little about their company. But the thing is, anything that I've missed, any recommendations that I've missed in this, just proves my point about their brand. Like, it's kind of terrible. They have all, you know, it doesn't surprise me at all when I heard they had to reorganize and pull people away from GOG Galaxy to be elsewhere. It's because, like, that's not your how much money are you spending on development for that? Because that just enables you to make money. It's not a money maker itself. And especially if you look at the Cyberpunk release and how crap that is, and everybody's like, oh yeah, who's in charge of this coding? Oh, okay, an activist. Okay. It's not a shock that I suspect your company is doing a little bit of this. It's only a question of, will it get fixed or not? I don't know. Those are my suggestions. That's it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any thoughts, leave a comment. I'm really curious because I can't be the only... If there's a post on the forum being like, hey, GOG, are you guys going bankrupt? Like, that looks bad. No one's asking Steam if they're going bankrupt. Maybe they are, but nobody's asking. But yeah, it's just like, it's astonishing to me. It makes me think they're doing all this crap that, you know, you see like a day in the life of LinkedIn, a day in the life of a Twitter employee. Oh, I got my soy matcha latte, and then I spent 3 hours in the yoga room because I was really tired out from that 15-minute meeting we had. And then we sang Kumbaya, and then I went home. It's like, what's going on? How poorly is it being managed? Anyway, like I said, that's it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for your time and attention. If you watched the whole video, give me a like, leave a comment. I'm really curious about what you guys think. I think GOG has some really interesting... Honestly, I think they could do really well with certain positions. Like, I think the free speech position could work, although it's... people don't want free speech these days. And the corporate overlords definitely don't want it. But maybe you could do that. You're advertising yourselves as DRM free. Maybe go for the free speech. Maybe free the Coomer. I don't know. I mean, the Coomer stuff generates money. Like, oh my god, it generates money. Maybe do a GOG Red or something. I don't know. Get, who's that one chick that, plays anti-games or whatever? The purple hair one? With the little horn. Maybe she's already... Maybe there's already some sort of tie-in there going on. I don't know, but that just shows my point. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much. Leave a comment, leave a like. Any questions, comments, concerns? I do read all the comments. I respond to all of them. Let me know what you guys think. Anyway, guys, I hope to see you guys next time. Till then, take care.